Divine Judgment and Redemption. The tragic reign of King Ahaziah. Once upon a time, in the ancient kingdom of Israel, there reigned a young and ambitious king named Ahaziah. He ascended to the throne after his father, King Ahab, met a tragic end. Ahaziah had big shoes to fill, as his father was known for his wealth and power. However, Ahaziah had not inherited his father's wisdom or righteousness. King Ahaziah turned to idol worship, following in the footsteps of his predecessors. He sought advice from Baal, the pagan god, and disregarded the teachings of the true God of Israel. Ahab and his wife, Queen Jezebel, had influenced him greatly in this regard. The people of Israel were living in a time of great spiritual decline, and Ahaziah did nothing to improve the situation. One day, disaster struck the young king when he fell through a lattice in his upper chamber. The fall left him gravely injured, and Ahaziah sensed his life was slipping away. He knew it was time to find answers beyond the idols. He needed divine intervention. Desperate for help, King Ahaziah sent messengers to consult the god of the Philistines, Zebub. The messengers traveled to the city of Ekron in search of this god. However, before they reached their destination, they were stopped by a man who spoke with authority. This man was a prophet of God named Elijah. He wanted to deliver a message directly from the true God of Israel to Ahaziah. Elijah instructed the messengers to return to the king and tell him that he would not recover from his injuries. The message was intended to awaken Ahaziah's faith and bring him to repentance. The messengers obediently followed Elijah's instructions and delivered the prophet's message to Ahaziah. However, the young king was enraged. He couldn't believe that someone would dare to challenge the authority of the gods he worshipped. In his anger, he sent a group of soldiers to capture Elijah. When the soldiers arrived, they surrounded the prophet. With divine power and protection on his side, Elijah stood fearlessly before them, proclaiming the words of God. "If I am a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50. He declared. Immediately, fire descended from the heavens and consumed the first group of soldiers. Ahaziah, unfazed by this supernatural display, sent another group to capture Elijah. Once again, fire descended and consumed them. A third group met a similar fate. Finally, Ahaziah realized that this prophet was an instrument of God's wrath. He dispatched a captain with a humble plea for mercy from Elijah. The captain fell upon his knees before the prophet, pleading for his life and the lives of his soldiers. With a softened heart, Elijah agreed to accompany the captain back to the king. Elijah delivered God's message personally to Ahaziah. "Because you have sought guidance from a false god, you will not recover, and you shall surely die." And so, King Ahaziah's days in this world came to an end, just as the prophet had foretold. His reign was marked with idol worship, rebelliousness, and a hardened heart. The story of Ahaziah serves as a reminder of the consequences that await those who turn away from God and put their faith in false gods.